Hi everybody, it's Erin, Erin English, and your professor for our 517 class. I hope you had a good week and are looking forward to our synchronous class or asynchronous class on Wednesday. What I'm going to be doing is breaking you up into two groups this time. Not, I was going to do three, but that doesn't really give us enough time for a discussion about our topic. So you'll be broken up into two groups. One group will start at 6. One group will start at 7, but the discussions will last about 45 minutes. So again, one group will start at 6, one group will start at 7, but the discussion itself will only last 45 minutes. That'll give us a time to answer any questions at the end. So that will be this Wednesday coming up. It's a little bit out of order because I can't make the following Wednesday, which is the first week of November. Okay, with that said, today I happen to be in Pennsylvania, so I'm in a hotel room, a very mod hotel room, if you would. It's kind of a wild room. I'm in a hotel room in Pennsylvania at the League of Innovative Schools in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and we're looking at ways to change up education. I'm working with other district leaders around the country, and we've formed together in a group. It's called the League of Innovative Schools, and we're looking at ways that we can improve the model of education as we know it and as we've been grown up to do. So we're looking at changing it right now. So it's kind of a blast meeting with the really interesting thinkers outside the box thinkers, so I'm getting a lot of neat ideas. So I kind of know the path I'm on, so what I'm going to talk to you about is the path that you're going to be on. You're coming into education. Many of you are in education right now, or you're coming into administration. Many of you are in administration right now, but one of the goals that I have right now is to change the model of delivery and learning as it looks in the classroom. I'm passionate about it. I've been spending the last 10 years doing this, working with different organizations to change what the kids are doing in the classroom. No Child Left Behind, to me, ruined a lot of thinking in our schools. It ruined the chance for children to think creatively, think outside the box, or come up with original thoughts. So we have a whole generation of kids that have gone through our system and now are not employable because they can't think critically. So what I'm asking you in this next assignment, that your written assignment that's going to be due next Sunday, is to write about what you expect and what you would like to see in education in the future. You're going to be looking at Sir Ken Robinson. You'll be reading a lot of different articles. You'll be looking and reading about the group of 10 men who got together and said these are the things we want all of our students or all of our children to know and be able, or to know, not be able to do, but to know when they get out of school. And then we have the cardinal rules of secondary education, which brings in more of a career-bound program. So so we have a intellectual program with the report of the 10, with the 10 men who got together, and then we have the cardinal program of secondary education. So we have these two entities going on in our history, and now we're coming to a point where we need to redesign it. Now we need to redesign education because students have to be both. They have to be career and college ready to go when they walk out the door. The saddest thing I heard was that we have been producing children. We have the honor of teaching children for 13 years in our system, and we put out children that cannot walk into a job that pays well enough for them to survive. To me, that just doesn't make sense. So our job is to prepare kids so that when they walk out of their time with us in for those 12, 13 years, in some cases 14 years, that they are fully prepared to enter society successfully. And we're putting kids out because of the way it's been in the recent history. We're putting kids out that they can't get jobs. So they walk out, they graduate, everything's great, and now, yay, they're adults. But the only thing we prepared them for is I can't even imagine. Everything has to do with thinking now. So all the labor jobs are kind of going away. So they could get a labor job, but that doesn't pay well enough for them to survive with a family. So these are things I want you to think about as you go into this next assignment. Be thinking big, think broad, think of what you would want for your children, and think outside the classroom in some cases. Is the classroom really where the only learning is taking place? So I look forward. I'll tell you some of the. I'll still be at the conference on Wednesday when I'm talking to you from here. I'll be sharing out what I'm doing, and I'm pretty excited about it. So I'll be able to talk to you about the League of Innovative Schools and um, Digital Promise. It's all under the umbrella of the Federal Department of Education. I'm sorry, the Technology Department of Education under the Department of Ed, National Department of Ed. And I'll be able to tell you all these great things that are happening, and I'll give you an update of things that are coming in the future. It's going to be much more personalized. Education is going to be more personalized because we have now the technology to do it. So with that said, I know a few of you have already contacted me and said, oh, you're pretty excited about this direction we're all going in. And now you have a chance to make those changes within your district. Now, of course, we have some things we have to do. We still have to do some kind of, some of the documents that the government's requesting of us. So how do we balance as educators the have-to-dos with the things we know is right to do? So with that said, I leave you tonight. In a little while, sometime today I'll be putting out the schedule. A couple of you asked me if you could be earlier, and a couple of you asked me if you could be later. That's great. For this particular class on Wednesday, I'll just be breaking you up in 2 groups. But I will soon be putting out, I'll send a separate email with your groups that you're going to be working with. Okay, so thank you. If you haven't filled out the survey, if you could go ahead and fill out the survey, it's under the announcements on Blackboard. The survey is real quick. It just says, your name, where do you work? Because I'd like to know where geographically we are, where you work, what grade levels you are, and what your occupation is, and if there's somebody in particular you'd like to work with, and then maybe you have worked with other people in the past successfully, and maybe you think, wow, it would be neat if I could work with someone else. And if that's the case, you put it down who you would rather not work with right now. It doesn't mean anything bad. It just means maybe you need a change. So I look forward to talking to you on Wednesday and giving you an update from Digital Promise and League of Innovative Schools. And with that, I'm signing off. Bye.